Hey guys, good morning, good afternoon, no matter when you may be catching this particular broadcast. Super excited to be coming and talking to you guys and motivating you with this Monday. Yes, morning press. Um, I think this message is going to touch a whole lot of different people, and it's definitely going to be one um, that you're going to come back and kind of listen to a couple times over. So you may want to share this one out. You may want to make sure that you save this one. I want you to get this message, and it's that you have the opportunity to create new standards. And so, over the last few weeks, there's been a lot of conversation going on. There's been a lot of commotion going on. There's been a lot going on. I mean, in social media, there's been a lot going on in just the world in general, right? And in everything that's been going on, uh, I've had a lot of people coming and asking me questions about things that people, the connections that I had and things. I mean, just so many different things. And it's interesting because when you create a new standard, people will only know you by the standard that they knew you in. I don't. Okay, you better catch this. Okay, when you create a new standard, you can't expect people who knew you at a certain standard to come and understand the new standard. You have to tell them what the new standard is, right? Good morning. Blessings to you. You have to tell them what the new standard is. You have to go ahead and make sure that it's known. Here's the thing is that a lot of times people will get so caught up that you're scared to create a new standard. And so you're comfortable in living the standard that somebody else has given you. You're comfortable in living a standard and living a way of life that is not benefiting you. You're comfortable in living that standard. And so this Monday morning, I want you to get uncomfortable. Oh, I don't know if y'all told a few people or not, but this Monday morning, I need you to get uncomfortable because in being comfortable, you can't be successful. Did you catch it? Did you catch it? In being comfortable, you can't be successful. It doesn't go the same. Why? Because there are some things that you have to do that you've never done before. There are some people that you have to talk to that you've never talked to before. And so I need you on this Monday morning to have the understanding that I can create a new standard. I can live by a new standard. And I don't have to be fearful of the standard that I used to live by or the standard that somebody else held me to because I'm not that person anymore. It's interesting because people always talk about, oh, you didn't got brand new, you didn't got brand new. And it's often the people that are fearful of change that will say, oh, you got brand new, you got brand new. When you create a new standard and you raise your standards, it'll change things in your life. I don't know if y'all hear me this morning. When you raise your standard, it will change things in your life. It will change how you communicate. It will change your circle. It will change your family. It will change your legacy. It will change things in your life when you create a new standard. And everybody's not going to be able to rise up to the standard that you create. It's interesting. I get it all the time. Thank you for sharing. I appreciate it. I get it all the time. And it's like, well, what do you mean? Okay. New standards allow you to overcome labels. Good morning. New standards allow you to overcome labels. It literally allows you to be in a position that it doesn't matter if you were the high school dropout, it doesn't matter if you were the teen mom, it doesn't matter what you were. New standards allows you to remove those labels because you're not living in that space. When you have been living in the space of an old standard, an old way of living, an old thought process, an old value system, when you're stuck in that space, then you answer to who you used to be. Some of you are answering to who you used to be because you're fearful of creating a new standard, because you say, if I create a new standard, will they still know me? Mm. If I create a new standard, will they still like me? Mm. If I create a new standard, will they still come to my programs? If I create a new standard, will they still show up and support me? I don't know if y'all getting it this morning. If I create a new standard, will they still be here? And that's the fear that we have in creating a new standard, in creating, because we're fearful that no, they won't be here. No, they won't understand. No, they walk away, that we won't have clients. That's the fear that we had. But the reality comes in is that we don't need that fear. Create the new standard. People will level up to the standard that you create. And when you're unafraid of creating a new standard, you put yourself in a different bracket. Now, for those who are just joining in and you may not have ever met me like before, welcome. First and foremost, I have partial voice. I was screaming and yelling for 2 days straight because my girls had their musical this weekend. Shout out to EHS. They did a great job. The Performing Arts Department did an amazing job doing Grease the Musical. Shout out to them. But it it's it was interesting to me because I'm watching these teenagers on stage and they have a standard for what they want the show to look like. And so they're working really hard to get it to that standard. Now, it's interesting because in the audience, we don't know what standard they have, but we have to abide by the standard that they have. Why? Because we came to see something. We came to be a part of something. We came to support somebody. And so there's a standard. And so you rise up to the standard that they had. Can I tell you something? Anybody that's not willing to rise up to the standard that you have, are they really worthy of your time? And I'm not talking about standards where you may want your child to bring in all A's. Listen, that I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about standards of respect. I'm talking about standards of, are you going to value my time? I'm talking about standards of, are you going to value my input? Are you going to value what I'm doing? Because see, when I decided that my new standard was that my time was valuable, when I decided that my new standard was that my money was valuable, I wasn't going to spend my time or my money anywhere that anybody did not value my time and my money. I'm sorry, they may not have got that. Come on. Y'all may not have got that this morning. Good morning. Hey, Nikki. Hey, good morning. I see you this morning, Alfredo. Come on, let's go. I need you to have the understanding. And so when I stopped showing up to places that did not value who I was and what I was trying to do, I changed my standards. I changed my standards. Guess what? You're going to have people that are not going to understand why you're changing. What you changing for? They was okay with who you were. Why you gonna go and change up on them? Oh no, 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 no. You didn't got new. What you changing for? But the reality is that you changed for a reason, because there's nothing that does not go through change. If I am living at my greatest potential, I have to go through change. Come on. Oh, thank you, Nikki. Hey, Brittany. Good morning. I have absolutely no voice, you guys. It just been going in and out for the last 2 days. We gonna let it ride. Hey, everybody over on Periscope. We just gonna let it ride, y'all, because I had to get this message out because I see so many people and I've been getting all of these messages and folk asking me questions and all of this stuff. And I want to be able to say, I changed my standards, but everybody don't understand what that means. And I want to be able to say, well, no, I want to say I leveled up. No, I changed my standards. And when you change your standards, then you will not just accept anything. Mm. Y'all let that filter through your shanana. When you change your standards, you will not just accept anything. When you change your standards, then you change your conversations. I don't know if y'all getting it this morning. You change your conversations. Why? Because what used to be okay to talk about is no longer okay. I've changed standards. I've leveled up to a point where now my conversations are going to be different. Why? Because I'm going somewhere different. And it's not to belittle people, but I need you to have an understanding that when you create the new standard within your life, you're creating something powerful. You've taken back the power from people who were keeping you at a cap. They were keeping you with a glass ceiling over top of you. And so when you decide that you are going to create a new standard, then you're saying, these are the values that I stand on, and I'm going to build from this. Here's the thing, is that we go and we follow different people and we get excited about what it is they say that they can do for us, what they can do for us, but they don't value us. And so when we decide that we're going to put ourselves in a position where we're going to see only show up when it's people that value us, then we change the conversation. We change the conversation. When I show up because you value me, then you're going to keep valuing me. And when people show up for ones that don't value them, that's why they still are in the position they in. Come on. Come on. That's why they can still go and keep doing the same thing, because people have been okay with not being valued. And so they think it's okay. I can continue to do it. That's so deep that went across every part of your life, when it comes to what doctor you use, when it comes to what restaurants you eat at, when it comes to everything. That just went everywhere across your life, because when you have a standard, I will no longer be okay with just being okay. Y'all better come on. When I have a standard, I will not be okay with just being okay. I don't know if y'all hearing me this morning. Y'all here? Y'all got it this morning? I will not be okay with just being okay. See, this is the thing. When you are living by somebody else's standard, then you are okay. Mm. How many of you, matter of fact, I won't tell y'all business. I just tell mine. I won't tell your business. I just tell my business. I can tell you that I've been in places where I accepted things and I said okay to things when I did not really 100% agree with it. But I said okay with it because of the environment that I was in. Because I thought that the person or the people or the community was valuing who I was. But I would say okay and go along with things. And again, y'all ain't got to tell y'all business. I just tell y'all mine. Because see, if me telling you my business is going to allow you to go and get further within your business, then let's go. I'm going to be all transparent. And so, yes, as the introvert, I think more than I speak, but I also pay close attention. I've always been the person that has measured 9 times and cut once. And when I cut, I cut. That's it. This message is for the one that continues to measure, but is scared to make the cut. This one is for the one that continues to measure, but is scared to make the cut. They're scared to cut out the things that they say, is not moving them forward. They're scared to cut out the conversations that are bringing them down. They're scared to walk away from the things that are not bringing them value or valuing them. They're scared to make the cut. Can I tell y'all this morning, your confession this morning, your affirmation this morning is, I'm not scared to make the cut. Wherever I need to cut today is getting cut today. Whatever cut. I need scissors. I need scissors. I need scissors. I need to see scissors. Wherever you need to cut today, you cutting. Listen, don't make me take it back old school. I'm from Philly. I take off the earrings and get the Vaseline and the Timbs. Wherever you cutting, whatever needs to be cut today, cut it and cut it well. Cut it and cut it well. Cut it to the point where you can't even attempt to gain it back. Cut it to the point and leave it there. Do not pick it back up. Cut it. Because it will be y'all better catch this. It will be the moment that you feel shifts everything in your life. It will be the moment that you feel everything shifted in your personal life, your business life. I'm telling you from experience. And we got to get to the point where I'm not holding back anymore. I'm not fearful of letting go. I'm not fearful of not being this. We talk about the poverty mindset, and we talk about it when it comes to our homes and what we buy and things like that. But sometimes the poverty mindset is the mindset that you will not let go of people and situations, and you won't let go because of fear that God can't replace it. And the thing about it is that he can replace it and go even further. He can go above what it is that you have right now. But we get to that headspace where I can't let go. And so you want to know the ways that you can, this gonna hurt. Oh, this gonna hurt. Y'all want to know the ways you can tell when it's time to cut something? When you're rehearsing the same pain over and over and over again. Come on. Come on. When you're rehearsing that same pain over and over and over again, it's time to cut it. Something needs to get cut. When you find yourself cowering in a moment when you're supposed to be standing tall and standing in who you are, when you find yourself cowering, you need to cut it. Something got to get cut. When you see yourself accepting verbal and mental abuse, when you see yourself accepting less than, when you see yourself not getting the answers to the questions that you ask, it's time to cut. And I feel strongly about this, and I feel so bad because as the person that I'm the person that wants to support. I'm the person that wants to encourage. I'm the person that wants to push you to a whole nother level. And in doing so, I want to get you to that point where you can stand on your own and say, this is what I need. This is what I don't need. Because you'll have a whole lot of people that want you to live at their standard. And so they're going to keep feeding you what it is that they think you need and what they're going to tell you that you need. But when you decide that you are going to create a new standard, you're going to say, well, for me and my house, this is what we need. As for me and my house, this is what we drinking. As for me and my house, this is where we're going. As for me and my house, as for me and my business, this is what we're doing. We move in service. And so as for me and my business, it's about service, and service is what leads us. But when you're afraid to make that cut, when you're afraid to make that cut, what ends up happening, catch this, is that literally somebody will go and allow you to live at their standard, and they will drag you through a place where you were not meant to be because you're living at their standard. And it will drain you emotionally, mentally, physically, spiritually. It will drain you physically. It will drain you to a point where you're now lashing out. How many of y'all work at a job and you literally you're so set by living by their standards and you can't even break through, that you're coming home and you snapping at your spouse, you snapping at the kids, you don't have time for yourself, you're not taking care of yourself, you're not eating what you need to eat, you're not doing the workouts that you need to be doing, you're not working on your business and your dream at all, you're not doing none of those things. Why? Because you're so set by the standard over there that you'll go and give them 8 hours and won't even give yourself one. You'll go over there and give them 8 to 12 hours and won't even give your family two. You'll go over there and give them everything and will look at your business and say, I'm too tired. You've allowed them to set the standard for your business, for your life. Y'all want to know one of the most valuable things that I did when I was still at my job? Was that I literally said, my time is my time. I need y'all to say that. I need to see that. My time is my time. And my time on your clock is my time on your clock. But my time not on your clock is not yours. My time is my time. That's the time that I devote to my family. My time is my time. So that means when I request off, I'm requesting off with a purpose and for a reason. My time is my time. That means when I say that I need to be somewhere and I need to leave at a certain time, no, I'm not staying later anymore. My time is my time. That meant that I made sure I spent time listening to podcasts. I spent time reading. I spent time going and praying. I spent time meditating. I spent time because I said my time was my time. And I stopped letting a job dictate what I did with my time outside. My time is only your time when I'm here. When I'm at the job, that's your time. And trust and believe, even that is slim. Come through. Y'all better come on. Look, Pat said it, set your standard and do not make any adjustments. Don't tweak what is valuable to you. My time is my time. And it wasn't until I went and actually put myself in a position to say, I've been living by your standard. Because I'm gonna tell you something. And this gonna catch somebody. When I was living by their standard, I was going and doing jobs that were above my job, my job description. I was going and I was doing things and helping in ways that were above my job description. It was above what I was getting paid. It was above my job description. And then when it came for me to value my time, nobody understood it. Folks caught attitudes because I was the one that was always coming in when everybody else called out. I was the one that they could go to because they knew that I was secure in what I was doing. They knew that I was the one that literally, if at the drop of a hat, they could call me and I would be able to show up. They would literally, I was that person. But the problem came in is that when I needed time off, I remember literally my foot was swollen. My ankle and my foot was swollen. And the response was, well, you can sit in the office and elevate your foot. And at the time, because I was living by their standard, I'm sitting in the back in the office with my foot elevated, thinking to myself, what am I doing here? No, really, really, what am I doing here? And I remember my sister coming picking me up that night. And she looked at my foot and she said, sis, what in the world? Why didn't you go to the hospital? Who was going to cover me? Y'all better catch this. Who was going to cover me? When you determine that you're going to raise your standard, there will be somebody to cover you. Oh, y'all, I hope y'all caught that. I'm going to repeat it for the cheap seat. When you raise your standards, there will be somebody to cover you emotionally, mentally, physically, spiritually, financially. There will be somebody to cover you when you choose to raise your standards. And so that was like one of the straws that broke the camel back. Y'all know I also tell y'all about how I got written up on the day that I was supposed to be off. That I is all types of stuff. But when you raise up your standard, people don't like that. So people were getting mad at me because I wouldn't come in so that way they could go to the beach. What now? They get mad at me because they couldn't leave early. They got mad at me because I was taking my lunch during the time that I wanted to take my lunch. Not when you were comfortable in me taking my lunch. Come on. Come on. Come on. Woo. Come on. When I give up my time, come on, to others who do not value it, I lose it and they win. When I give up my time to people that do not value my time, I lose, they win every single time. And then this is the thing, this is what part that people don't realize is not only do I lose, my children lose, my spouse loses, my home loses, my mental health loses, my physical health loses. Come on, my spiritual health loses. I lose. Like I don't just lose in one area. I lose, guys. And everybody attached to me loses. Everybody connected to me loses. But the problem comes in is that I wasn't meant to lose. I don't know what your Bible says, but my Bible says that I'm supposed to win. It didn't say I'm supposed to lose. It didn't. Mine said I'm a winner. Mine said that I got things to come. Look, that was the perfect timing for that song. Hey, that was the perfect timing for that, right? That was perfect. I need y'all to have that understanding this morning because you're going to come in contact with people this week that are going to test your standards. They're going to ask you your standards, they're going to test your standards, and they're going to be looking and saying, are these really the standards that you hold? Come on, come on, come on. Are these really the standards that you are holding? Are these standards really the ones that you say are valuable to you? And it's up to you to say, yes, these are my standards and these are the values that I hold dear to. It's up to you to say, this is the foundation that I'm standing on. And if that's not the foundation you're standing on, that's okay. That's between you and what you do. But these are the foundations that I'm standing on. And don't allow anybody to trip you up in making you feel less of a person because you're standing on certain standards and certain values. Um, but you can create your standard. You can create your standard. Like don't look. And this is the other piece of it. Stop creating your standard based on somebody else's life. Y'all better come on. I'm giving y'all this good no voice word. Y'all better come on. I'm giving y'all this good no voice word today. Stop comparing yourself. Stop setting your standard according to somebody else's life. That's not your journey. That's not your path. That's not what you're supposed to be doing. Stop setting your standard according to what they're doing. Because when you set your standard according to what they're doing, then you limit what God can do in your life. When you set your standard according to what somebody else is doing, then you limit who God called you to be. Y'all better come on. You limit who God called you to be. When you go and you set, listen, I'm looking at somebody else's standard, and I did that for so many years, and I tried to emulate what they were doing. And what you find out is that when you attempt to do what somebody else is doing in their life and trying to live by their standards, you get failure. You get failure. They have success. You have failure. And then you don't even know if they're truly having success. Y'all better hear me this morning. You don't even know if they're truly having success. You think that they having success though. They telling you that they having success. They showing you 1099s. But I need you to have this understanding. This good morning is that when I change the standard, I'm living by the standard that was placed by me. Jeremiah 29:11. When I get into my quiet time with him and I spend that time, y'all know we talked about that secret place last week. When I get into my quiet time with him, then guess what? I'm listening to what he said I'm supposed to be doing. I'm downloading from him. I'm connecting with him. I'm finding out what goals he has for my life. And when I decide that that's the journey that I'm doing, I'm not going to let just anybody pop up and decide that they're going to try to change that. I can't. My children's lives depend on it. My life depends on it. The people that I'm coming in contact with, their life depends on it. I've literally had women tell me about their moments of being in depression. I have women coming and telling me about their fears. I have women coming and telling me about their life after domestic violence, their life after divorce, their life after homelessness. And if I would have continued to live by somebody else's standard, then I would not be in the position to not only hear their stories, but project their voice. So that way they know that they are valuable. So that way they know that they are needed. So that way they know that there is something on the inside of them that can shift the world. So that way they can understand that they are not just some throwaway. Oh, y'all better come on. So that way they know that they are not just some throwaway. So that way they know that they are not just a number, that they are valuable. There's enough companies out here that treat us like a number, guys. Enough. At some point we got to say enough is enough, right? At some point we got to say enough is enough. And so there's enough people really dealing with feeling like we're a number on a consistent basis. When are we going to start letting people feel like they are a person? And sometimes they don't feel like they're people because we don't even feel like we're people, because we've been through so much. I need you to take back your power today. I need you to take back your power this week and recreate your standard, or create a new standard. Raise your standard. Reposition your standard, because there's somebody waiting on you. Like, it doesn't matter what you went through. It doesn't matter what you went through as a child. It doesn't matter what you went through as a, listen, it, I know that that is part of your story, but it's only part of your story. And so when you're determined that you're going to raise your standards, I'm not living that story anymore. I'm not in that chapter. There's a whole book. I'm not in that chapter anymore. Like, I get it. I get it. I ran over, I threw my headband in my head, and I was like, I just got to go live and share this. I got half a voice, but I know that even with half a voice, y'all are still going to get a full message. Y'all better catch that. Even with half a voice, you're still going to feel the full power of my voice, because I chose to show up in spite of. even with half a voice, half of one, you're still going to hear the full power of my voice because I chose to come. And that's all people are going to need from you is for you to show up. They're going to need for you to show up. Trust and believe. They're going to need it. And you're going to come across a lot of women. Come on. You're going to come across a lot of men that don't understand that when I set a new standard, I got to live up to it. And God will strategically place people in my life that are going to make me live up to the standards in my life. And so I got to look at my life and I got to be honest and say, are the people around me holding me to a certain standard? Or are they allowing me to live in the one that I am in? Are they holding me to a certain standard? Because see, when people hold you to a certain standard, they're not afraid to have conversations with you. They're not afraid to have conversations because they know that conversation is going to elevate. It's going to take you to another level. They're not afraid to have a conversation with you. They're not afraid to make a suggestion. They're not afraid. Why? Because I want to see you grow. I want to see you expand. See, it's the ones that want to keep you where you are. That you can't really say, do they really care? No, I want to see you elevate. I want to see you at a whole nother level. I want to see, I had somebody say to me, I had somebody say to me that the level that you are on right now, the platform you are on right now, you're bigger than that. And I literally had to go back to myself and say, Dad, am I playing too small? Am I playing too small? And I said, okay, so there are some areas where I'm playing kind of small, and I know why I'm playing small. And okay, let's look at that a little bit more. But you got to have people around you that are asking you those questions. Are you showing up consistently? Because your consistency is important. And when you're not showing up consistently, you can't expect to do nothing for nobody, not even yourself. I gotta consistently at least be there for me. If I can't be there consistent for nobody else, I gotta be consistent for me. And if I'm not consistent for me, I'm already tearing things apart. I'm already failing. I'm already failing. There's people that need me. They need your book, your program, your service. They need your time. They need your words. They need your finances. There's some of you that are supposed to be angel investors. There's some of you that are supposed to be sowing into people, and you're not sowing. There's supposed to be things that you're supposed to be doing. Y'all know that when I say sow into people, sowing into people is not just a financial seed. There are so many different seeds that we sow on a consistent basis. You're supposed to be speaking positive words over somebody at your job. You're supposed to be encouraging your husband to do something or a side business. You're supposed to be encouraging something within your children. You're supposed to be giving somebody a gift. You saw a book and you was like, that would be great for that person. Buy the book and give it to them. Stop holding on to the seed. Sometimes that's the new standard you need to have, is that I'm going to sow the seed in due season. I'll get a harvest, but I got to sow the seed. And some of you have been holding on to the seeds because you sowed seed prior to in ground that was not good. And that's okay, because we learn lessons, guys. Don't ever think that even though before you sowed a seed in bad ground, that you still can't get a perfect harvest, because God is a good God and he can take anything that we've ever done and use it for our good. All things work out for our good. All things. He didn't say some things. He didn't say the good things. He didn't say the things that make our name good. He didn't say any of those things. So even the things that made your name look like mud, God can use it for something good. Even the times where people looked at you and thought less of you, God can use it and make you something good. See, you don't understand how good God is. You don't understand how powerful He is. He is a name changer. He will change your zip code. Oh, y'all, I can't. Y'all gonna mess around. I ain't gonna have no voice for the rest of the week messing with y'all. He is a name changer. He is a zip code changer. He is a health changer. He is a mindset changer. He can change anything. He can change anything, but you gotta be the initiator. You gotta be the one that says, you know what, I'm ready for the change. So let me put myself in position that I can receive what it is you have for me. Let me go ahead and remove myself from that community because I don't see anything flourishing. I don't see any fruit. God, let me be in a space where I can be fruitful. Let me be in a space where I can be fruitful. Let me be in a place where I can be a community builder. Let me be in a place where I can go and I can inspire. Let me be in a space where God, when I open my mouth, that it is a seed and that I may not even know the ground that it is being sown into, but God, it will bring a harvest. We talk about we waiting on God and God is waiting on us. We talk about we waiting on finances, and God said, "Well, I own everything." We talking about we waiting on God, and God is saying, "I just need you to move. I need you to make a move. I need you to make a move. Stop being worried about what you went through, because I can use what you went through. I can use it to your advantage." I can use the words that were spoken over you to your advantage. I can use the people that shut doors in your face to your advantage. I can use the time that you spent in the hallway of closed and locked doors to your advantage. I can use the times where people left and walked away to your advantage. And guess what? The people that show up, you'll never have to be fearful of them walking away. Y'all better. When you dedicate everything to Him and you put it in His hands and you call Him on His word and you call Him on His promises, then you don't have to be fearful of people walking away. Because guess what? God works it all out for your good. You don't have to be fearful of people walking away. You don't have to be fearful of people talking about you. You ain't got to be fearful of people dismissing you, taking clients from you, everything and anything. Trust, I didn't had it all happen. But I don't have to be fearful of those things. I don't have to be fearful of somebody saying no, because God will always bring me a yes. We get so caught up because we living by somebody else's standard. God said, stop. That's not your standard to live by. That's not your standard to live by. He said, I have a standard for you. And when you live by that standard, you will see success like you've never seen it before. When you live by the standard that I have for you in your life, you will make connections like you've never made before. Oh my goodness, when you go ahead and you live and allow Him to guide you and allow Him to just go ahead and be at the forefront, then what you thought was you walking by yourself was Him carrying you. It's Him carrying you. The moments you thought that nobody cared, He carried you. I cannot stress it enough. God is a good God. I cannot stress it enough. I cannot. Come on. Come on. Aaron said that's a good word right there. Come on. Come on. He said, I was just talking about that the other night with my significant other about what the enemy meant for evil, God can always use for good. Always. Always. I stayed true to who I was. I stayed true to my standards. I stayed true, and to the point, even to the point where I was ridiculed, and I was, I was the odd person out, and everybody would go and do stuff and look at me. I didn't have a problem with it. That's fine. But it was because of those standards that people came and connected. It was because of those standards that people came and stayed. And I told you, people have gone and started businesses just from watching my live streams. People have been motivated just from watching my videos. And it's crazy because I've been told that I'm too dark, my teeth are crooked. I've been told you need to do more with your hair. I've been told I need to wear makeup. I've been told that I was too fat. I've been told I needed to wear a waist trainer. I've been told it all. I've been told that I have a lazy eye. I already knew that. Duh. I've been told um, that I move my hands too much. I've been told all of these things. And from all of these people telling me all these things, I said, okay, well, that has nothing to do with me. How you see it, that's how you see it. But I know that I've had people whose lives have been changed. I've had people who've gone and written books. I've had people who've gone and connected with me and are in the accountability community. I have people who've gone and joined up. Listen, I've had people who have driven from state to state to state to come to events live. 9 hours they've driven to come to events. I've had people go and just so into me. I've had people, so you're looking at the superficial, and I'm telling you that it's so much bigger. And so I couldn't live by that standard, because if I was living by that standard, then I was closing myself in. But when I decided to take the lid off, and I said that I can't fit into nobody's box, then I'm living by this other standard, then God said, you will never, I will never see my children in the street begging bread. He said that I will never need, I will never go. Listen, and even when something does happen, it's only for a moment. I'm going to look up and look, he said, he told me joy come in the morning. It's for a moment. Joy going to come in the morning. And so even if things are going haywire, God, you got it. Do you know how much stress that took off of me? God, you got it. What do you want me to do? God, you either gonna bring somebody with it, or you gonna tell me what I need to do to get it. Let's go. Y'all know one of my favorite movies, and I gotta go and rebuy it. One of my favorite movies is One Night with the King. And that moment when she, listen, if I perish, I perish. And going into, like, they could have killed her. But my standard is, it's either, listen, it's thinking about Abraham when he had to sacrifice his son. I had to sacrifice my son. Now, either I'm gonna get there and I'm gonna sacrifice my son and God gonna resurrect him, or I'm gonna get there because God gave me a promise. Y'all better come on. God gave me a promise, and He gonna fulfill the promise. And the promise that He gave me was that my children would not be begging bread. I prayed so my children would not be in debt going to college. And so I prayed for different things. And I said, so God gave me a promise, and I'm cashing in on the promises that God gave to me. You may not want to cash in on the promises He gave you. That's okay. You go ahead. I take your promises too. I trust me. Sis is not about to lose out on my promises, though. I'm going to go ahead and stand tall in the promises that He has given me. I got to. I don't have no other choice. I don't have no other choice. It's not for play. It's not. Come on. I'm going to stand in the promises that he has given me. And when I stand in the promises that he has given me, see, I'm not worried about who talking about me. Let them talk. When I'm standing in the promises, I'm not worried about what people said. I'm not worried about what people did. I just had the best weekend ever. Y'all want to know? Y'all want to know life? Let me tell y'all something. Y'all want to know what I stress about? Let me tell you what I'm stressed about. Okay, so my stress this weekend was I had to go back and forth to the school. I don't drive. I had to go back and forth to the kids' school for the musicals. There was 3 musicals. I went to all three. I always go to all three, and I had to make sure that we kind of had space for family that wanted to sit together and stuff. And my biggest stress was making sure that I got the right flowers to throw up on the stage at the last show. It was making sure that I had my kids, my girls, 2 of them had these big stuffed animals, and they stayed at the school between the shows on Saturday. So they wanted their stuffed animals. So I had to commute 2 big behind stuffed animals for them to lay on at the school. That was my biggest stressor, guys. Like for real. That was the biggest stressor. I woke up Sunday with no voice. My voice was going in and out all Sunday. That's it. Is my life perfect? No. Is it perfect? No. But I raised my standard. My standard was I was going to spend time with my kids and I was going to support them in whatever it is that they wanted to do. And I was going to live life, y'all. I'm going to smile. I'm going to smile. I'm going to laugh. I'm going to enjoy myself. Because that's the standard that I have. I'm going to serve my clients to the fullest capacity. My team fusses at me because I always over deliver. Y'all know. Don't judge. Don't judge my lifestyle, y'all. My team knows I always over deliver, but there's a reason why I over deliver. I over deliver because I know what it feels like to be under delivered to. I know what that feels like, to feel like you've been just kind of thrown by the side. I know what that feels like. And so I over deliver. And even in the things that we're adding and we're doing, it's because I know what it feels like for people to just show up and not get 100% of somebody. Man, it's crazy. That was my biggest stress this weekend. Getting back and forth. That was it. That was all. Making sure I had chips and I made sure all the kids got their chips and I lost my voice because I was screaming so loud. Family members was crying because um my oldest daughter had an acapella solo that was so freaking amazing. So amazing. They're crying. Other people that came to see him, they're crying. I'm like, crazy, right? When you create a new standard, you can choose joy. You can choose laughter. You don't have to choose fear anymore. You don't have to choose pain anymore. It's not to say that fear won't happen. It's not to say that pain won't happen. It's not to say that people won't still talk about you. It's not to say that people won't still bad. It's not to say none of those things will just stop, but it's how you see it. It's your perception. My standard over here. So whatever y'all talking about, that ain't got nothing to do with where I'm going. That ain't got nothing to do with where I'm going. New standard. And that is where the value comes in. So I'm excited. I'm excited. We're in the final week of the World Voice Summit. We've had an amazing amount of speakers coming in from all over, giving us just, oh my goodness, so much insight, so much information. And some of the videos are in there. Some of them have already been taken out. Go in and join the community. You'll definitely want to get access to that information. And then, like I said, It's about seeing something different. I get it. I get it. It's fearful. It's a lot going on, but there's somebody waiting on you. And if you don't recreate your standard, then when they find you, they won't even be able to work with you because you're not even what it is that they need. When they look at you, they're not going to see what they need. They're going to see somebody else. They're going to see a duplicate or a replica of somebody else. There's already a Les Brown. There's already a Lisa Nichols. There's already a Tony Robbins. There's already an E.T. There's already all these other people. There's already there Tiffany Montgomery. There's already all of these amazing speakers and amazing people that empower. And so they weren't looking for them. They were looking for you. And so when will you rise up to be the person that they're looking for? That's my question for you today. It's time for us to recreate or to create a new standard because it will affect every part of us. So with that being said, I appreciate you guys. You have an amazing Monday. It's Monday. It's Monday. It's Monday. It's Monday. I'm gonna go drink some more tea. I'm gonna go drink some more tea. That part. And rest my voice for the rest of the day. I think I have like one meeting today and that's it. I think that's it. But I think yeah, that's about it. But I have a lot of behind the scenes stuff to do. But I really want to see you guys grow. I told y'all this year will not be like any other year if you stay connected. This year will not be like any other year if you stay connected. That's what we're about this year. We're making sure that we elevate to a whole nother level. Elevating in what? Life and in business. Come on. The world is waiting on you. And don't forget to press it out. See ya.